Damn it. Can it please be spring already?
I can't believe you're actually cold. Shouldn't your vampire genes protect you from a regular winter in Forgotten Hollow?
Don't mind me, it's probably just psychosomatic.
Psycho what?
You know that feeling when you see spiders or bugs, you're disgusted, and suddenly there's a tingling sensation like they're crawling all over your body even though they're not physically touching you?
Yes, I do. And I'm feeling it right now thanks to you going on about it in such detail. Uff.
I just hate winter, you know. Snow and ice bring up too many bad memories.
Well, good. I was worried for a moment that was your reaction to this apartment.
Even in that case, don't worry Loki, I'll help you redecorate if you decide to move in.
Oh, the apartment is fine, much bigger than that one room above the restaurant in Shadow Vale. And thank you, Dantalion, for showing me around.
But
not sure. Something feels strange about this place.
I think I know what you mean. I had a similar feeling when we came in, like there's some unsettling aura surrounding the house. Then again, I've been overly sensitive since Lord Henford disappeared without a trace.
So perhaps it's psychopathic then?
You mean psychosomatic?
Whatever, that fancy term you used before.
you don't need to decide right away. I can put the apartment on reserve for a while, but please don't take too long either. This is my third job since we cut all ties with the magic realm and its beautiful library, and I don't want to mess up again.
Is that so, Dantalion? Then you should not waste time marketing these apartments to people like your grandmother. They are meant for real witches with real magic powers.
He's marketing them to me, and I'm as magical as you can get. Amara is just here to support me.
In that case, keep up the great work.
Who was that haughty brat?
Madeline Whittle.
As in the daughter of Eunice and Talon Whittle. Are you sure?
Yes. Forgive me that I didn't stand up to her, Grandma, but she's kind of my boss too, and as I said, I can't afford to lose this job.
I think Pompiliou mentioned a family of that name a couple of times back when we were together, but I have no idea if they're the same people.
I would guess so. The Whittles are fairly unknown in the mortal realm, but in the magic community, they used to be the most renowned real estate agents for generations. They're filthy rich, even by witch standards, own several properties themselves, and even bought this one from Vlad Strahd's descendants to rent it out to fugitives from the magic realm. As you just saw, they're very picky when it comes to their tenants as well.
In other words, if I move in here, those are going to be my new landlords.
Well, I suppose that's a no for this apartment then.
No, please, don't let that girl's behavior towards me affect your decision, Loki, or your job, Dantalion. She's right after all. I'm a lousy witch, and I'm used to people with real magic powers looking down on me because of it.
That doesn't make it right. Besides, if the landlords are this condescending towards one of their own kind just because she's less magically gifted, how long are they going to tolerate a hybrid as a tenant? I hate people like that.
Don't worry, Madeline is all right. A little spoiled at the moment, but that's to be expected from a 13-year-old girl who grew up surrounded by money and servants in the modern world. She'll turn out fine in the long run.
If you can see the future that well, can you please tell me if I'm going to lose my job over this?
Seems rather unlikely.
See, no need to worry, you're doing great.
But that's just a guess. The truth is, my memories of the future barely include you at all, just that the famous magical bloodline of the Duplantiers will end with you.
Hey, are you coming?
Of course.
You were thinking about the future again, weren't you? And not just wondering where you'll live 5 years from now.
Yes, well, I worry about a lot of things.
But never as much as when the future is brought up. Or snow and ice. Talk to me. Is it really going to be that bad?
Happy Valentine's Day, Lev. I know you never cared about it much, because your people didn't need a certain day in the year to appreciate their partners, but still, I miss you.
Valentine's Day? I thought that was next week. February 14th, right?
Who even knows anymore, now that our planet's orbit around the sun is no longer the same as it was when that calendar was invented? We should come up with a new one already. But I guess clinging to the past is just human nature, even when you're a vampire.
Are you okay, Dad?
No. This eternal frozen hell is pissing me off. Your other dad hated the cold even more. Perhaps he's lucky to never have experienced this. But it's still strange that he's gone. When he died the first time and came back to life, I thought he was invincible, and now. Sorry.
No need to apologize. I miss him too. And Grandma, and Bitch, and all the others we've lost, even though I barely knew most of them. Sometimes I wish I could just go back in time and get to know them in a world before the calamity.
After all these years, I'm not sure I'd even recognize anything anymore. But speaking of time, it's time to go home. Willie is cooking dinner, and she doesn't like to be kept waiting.
Go ahead, tell her I'll be there soon. I just want to see if I can fix this withered mess.
Are you sure? It's getting late.
Dad, I'm not a kid anymore. The darkness doesn't frighten me.
I'd worry more about your aunt's wrath if I were you, but as you wish. See you later.
Oh no. Damn it.
Much better now, is it not?
Thank you. I just can't get the hang of elemental magic, no matter how hard my aunt tries to teach me.
Sounds like Wilbica, all right. She should instead teach you when not to use elemental magic. Withered plants are best restored using an endurance spell. Comes with the side effect of protecting them against harsh weather conditions as well.
I'll keep that in mind. What brings you here today, Madeline?
What brings anyone to a cemetery in the middle of nowhere by night? A desire to perform shady rituals on the graves of the dead, of course.
I'm happy to see you haven't lost your edge.
Never. But I did lose another dear friend last night. Matriarch Quinette passed away in her sleep.
My condolences.
It was only a matter of time. She was ancient, even by alien standards, and in a lot of pain. Still, she took me in and raised me almost like a daughter of her own after the calamity, and I owe it to her to respect her last wish.
She wished to be buried here.
No, among the ruins of her former workplace, the Alien Search and Research Institute.
That's in Oasis Springs.
Exactly, which means I have a long journey ahead of me to get her there. I only came to take back the lucky charm I placed on my parents' graves the other day. Guess I'm going to need it more than they do if I run into any magic thieves along the way.
You can't go alone. It's too dangerous.
But who could I ask to accompany me? I have no more family left.
But you do still have friends. Let me talk to my father and Aunt Wilbica. We'll figure something out.
Thank you, Loki.
My parents would like to remind you that even their tolerance has limits. Fugitive or not, you either pay rent or move out.
Of course. But don't worry, I transferred the money just before you arrived.
Liar.
Please give Mr. and Mrs. Whittle my regards, and my apologies. I won't be late again.
As if that wasn't the least serious of your crimes.
Then we won't have a problem. Have a good day.
No, don't leave, little girl. Help me, please. I'm not really a fish.
You're wrong, Henford. You may not have been born a fish, but you certainly are one at this very moment. And as such, the only ones who could possibly hear your cries for help are people with the ability to talk to animals and, well, other fish. But nobody even knows you're here, so don't expect Greenpeace to come for you anytime soon. And if they do, I'll just use this Nidalite to erase their memories.
Somebody is going to stop you sooner or later. And if not, I hope you survive long enough to witness the fruits of your labor firsthand.
That's one hope we share, but I still have some work to do to make it happen. And I won't let anyone disturb me.
I don't want to change my picture again.
But this one is even worse than the one from before. It makes you look like a wicked witch.
Exactly. So what's the problem?
The problem is that we're doing this not for Halloween, but for Valentine's Day, which is this Sunday. So we only have 6 days left to find you a new friend.
Tiamo, are you trying to get Mum into dating again? Bitch, please.
Yes.
You do this every year and it never works, so why don't you just plan your own date with Leviathan and accept the reality that not everybody on this fucking planet needs a partner in their life?
My words exactly. I don't even know yet if we're going to have a special date at all, or just another night out that ends with us picking up some random guy for a threesome.
However that may turn out, do not keep me up to date.
Truth be told, it's quite funny. Or it could be, if only your brother would stop bitching about the way I set up my online profile.
I keep hearing my name.
We need to revise your entries in the hobbies and interests section as well.
Why? I realize society is a minefield these days, but when did flower arranging also become such a hot topic that I shouldn't admit to enjoying it?
Not that. I mean the part about triggering professional victims, harassing the Queen of the Turfs on Twitter, and slaying unicorns.
The latter is satire, you dumbass. When was the last time I slayed a unicorn? Right, never. Because unicorns are not real.
I refuse to believe that.
Well, they could have been real, had the powers that be not decided to fuck us off with flashy horn accessories for regular horses instead. A very sad day in history.
And the other two entries are meant to weed out extremists from both ends of the political spectrum. If I have to go on a date, it won't be with a Nazi or a snowflake.
You don't have to go at all. No one's forcing you.
No one except your brother.
Oh well, have fun then. I'll be in my room.
Willie, wait. What are your plans for Sunday?
I'm a university student, so what do you think? Probably studying, and trying to find a way to get rid of the SCIA's telekinetic bitch that's teaching one of my classes.
Now you're doing it on purpose.
Makes sense. As much as it may hurt, it's better to be alone on Valentine's Day than to force someone to be with you against their will, with or without magic.
The fuck are you talking about?
Mum told me you stole some obtainium from her supplies, apparently to incorporate it into a candle you were making. I read up on that metal, it can seriously mess with one's emotions. No wonder it's such a popular ingredient in antidepressants and love charms.
And of course, your first thought is that I was trying to use it to make someone fall in love with me. Do you really think I have nothing better to do?
Honestly, I don't know what to think. You haven't been yourself since whatever happened on your birthday that you won't tell me about, and especially since Mum caught you with the obtainium last week. I'm worried about you.
You know what? You're right. I wasn't really myself for a very long time. But I am myself again now, because even though it doesn't look like it, I'm a grown woman who can take care of her own problems. Before your big brother instinct drives you crazy, let me assure you I wasn't trying to make a love charm, but that's all you need to know. Everything is under control.
Let me know if you have any other apartments or houses to rent out, okay? I'd appreciate another viewing or two.
Are there more members of your family in search of a new home?
No, I just like looking at pretty interiors. Gives me ideas for my sim houses.
There. I've never been particularly skilled in elemental magic, but that should at least keep the snow away for a couple of hours.
I don't even want to imagine a world where winter is the only season. And I still find it hard to fathom that before coming here, you had lived for almost a century, never knowing the feeling of warm sunlight on your skin.
Ironically, I remember craving that feeling for a very long time, even though my vampire genes should have caused me to perceive the sun as a threat. There you see it, even biology and psychology don't always make sense. Anyway, don't believe anyone who claims that you can't miss something you've never experienced. Now that I have experienced it, I dread the prospect of losing it again. The prospect of a world where warmth of any kind is so hard to come by.
There must be some way to stop that calamity.
That's what I've been trying to tell myself, and it even seemed possible for a while. But if the universe still works by the rules I was taught, then no, it cannot be stopped. Postponed maybe, and some details may be altered, but one way or another, the world as we know it is coming to an end, and the signs are already there. I knew as much when I decided to leave my old life behind. I didn't travel to the past to change it, just to enjoy life in a world where that's still possible. Sorry if that sounds pathetic.
It doesn't. But what's your plan for when the calamity does happen? Will you travel to the past again, even further back this time, and take your loved ones with you?
I'm not sure yet. Do you think the Jurassic period would be a nice time to be alive? We could build a house on top of a volcano, enjoy the view of the valleys, and of course the adrenaline of never quite knowing when there'll be a serious fire under our butts.
We?
Oh, sorry, I just assumed you might want to tag along too. You know, hone your skills as a veterinarian by nursing a few sick dinosaurs back to health.
That would upgrade my CV enormously, I suppose. Not that there would be any other vets to compete with though.
Anyway, I was wondering if...
Grandma, I'm going home. Will you join us for dinner?
Sure. I'm on my way. See you around, Loki.
I'll go inside too. Nice sun and all, but I'm still freezing my ass off.
Carpe Diem, Loki. Who knows how many days you have left in this? Well, I wouldn't usually call it a paradise, but compared to what's to come.
Lorenzo. Should have guessed you were the source of that unsettling aura Amara and I were sensing at Vlad's mansion.
I'm also sensing a certain aura surrounding you and her, whenever you two are together. But you don't have to flee to the land before time, to enjoy your togetherness a little bit longer, you know.
Yeah, this must be where your plan to make life better for everyone comes into play again.
We're close now. Only one more piece is missing from the puzzle, one that you happen to be very familiar with, at least if my theory of what gave you the blue hair and the telekinetic powers is correct.
The last puzzle piece you sent our family to retrieve nearly got them locked away forever.
I did make up for it by convincing your resident vampire overlord to brainwash the SCIA.
And then you made yourself scarce before we even got there, too cowardly to face your demons, as usual. If you know where to get that missing piece, go get it yourself. Otherwise, save your bloody sermons for someone who cares. I'm not your errand boy.
Fucking technology. I knew we shouldn't have trusted a decades-old car to get us all the way to Cloaca Springs.
It certainly doesn't help that none of us ever properly learned to drive. What do we do now?
If only Bitch were here. No idea how or why, but she did know a thing or two about cars.
Sorry, Quinette. We'll get to your last resting place eventually, and bury you along with your most valuable possessions. It's just going to take a little longer than expected.
What was that? The magic thieves.
No, those are mostly just human. And that was definitely not human.
Time to get going then.
No shit. If you can repair the car, we'll be out of here in no time.
Guys?
Unholy fuck.
Loki, get in the car.
Quinette's alien metals and crystals. Plutonium, celerium, nitolite. Is that a clandestine in that ring?
Forgive me, Quinette.
Leave her alone, you disgusting bogey.
We need to work on the quality of his insults, but it's nice to see him finally put my elemental magic training to good use.
That was not elemental magic. It looked almost alien.
You. Shit.
Well done.
What the hell? Another one.
Fear not. I am on your side. At least for now.
Oh, okay. The strange people you meet in the middle of nowhere. What was that thing?
What becomes of a vampire that lives too long? Some humans call them wraiths.
You mean all vampires?
Humans in all their shapes and sizes, whether they drink blood, cast spells, grow fur, or swim with a fish, were never intended to live for centuries. If their bodies don't break down, their minds eventually will. That is just the way of the natural order. And be warned that it will one day happen to your loved ones too.
That can't be. My father is a vampire and my aunt is ageless, but they would never let themselves go like that, and neither would I.
You may be one of the rare exceptions. I can sense it. There is something eternal in your genetics, which is exactly why I came to you.
Then perhaps you should tell me who you are. And what?
My name is Jolfiel. The Ceylonese used to call me the Sea Hag, but I am an angel. One of the three that still watch over this planet. Humans are praying to us more than ever, since their world became infested with demons, asking us to restore it to what it was before the calamity. But for that, they must first prove to us that they are worth saving.
How exactly can we prove that?
By slaying the demons among you, as you just did. Remember this, and be prepared to do it again when it's your father's time to turn. Your new power can help you become the strongest soldier in humanity's fight against its own downfall.
What new power?
Loki, where are you?
And then she said, "Those apartments are for real witches with real magic powers, not people like your grandmother."
She wasn't wrong though. A witch without powers is like, I don't know, a crime novel without a dead body? Of course I can't tell my mother how to live her life, but I would never want to go without magic.
But was it really necessary to single her out like that? I wish I could.
We could build a house on top of a volcano, enjoy the view of the valleys, and of course the adrenaline of never quite knowing when there'll be a serious fire under our butts.
We?
Sorry, I just assumed you might want to tag along too.
What if I do?
What if you do what? Improve your magic skills? I would be happy to help.
Never mind. I'll go. Loki, I was just thinking about you.
You were? Why?
Oh, because of our book about the fairies. I have an idea for a new chapter, but that's probably not why you came here.
No, I wanted to ask you something, and I'd rather do it in person than over the phone. Could you come outside? It won't take long. Well, since I'm no longer the vampire ambassador of Shadow Vale, I have a lot more time for things like, our book, The Move. And I don't have any plans for Sunday yet, so I was wondering if you'd like to,
Yes.
Oh, okay, that's great. I'll pick you up at your house. See you on Sunday then.
See you on Sunday.